I'm hoping you can hear me. It is a bit of a breeze. There is a bit of a breeze going on. And I've got a woman with a dog right up my arse that Seth is paying a bit of attention to. And then I've got another bunch. This is why I go out at night. No hassle. Hassle free. You know, you just run around chasing after foxes and cats that they'll never catch. So I've got to go off piste just until these people have passed, because it does my nut in. So I'm sure that most, if not all of you, have heard of or heard about Julia Sweeney. 3 years for a Facebook post. Now, there are a few things about that. Firstly, it was inciting violence. Now, I've got my own opinions on that as well, because it's still freedom of speech. And if people feel alarmed and distressed over a Facebook post, you see, offence is taken, not given. Not given, it's taken. So it's on the recipient, the one that's offended, not the one that's offending, you know? And any of these people that kick off over a Facebook post are wet wipe snowflakes. Snowflakes, that's all they are. And these snowflakes will melt when the shit hits the fan. And I see that as a form of karma for being part of the problem instead of part of the solution. Because these people are pushing not only themselves but us further and further into speech entrapment. And because they're so stupid and to some degree retarded, and again, look up the definition of retarded in an older dictionary, not a woke one, the original English meaning to that. And see, I don't even know if that's edible. There's loads of them. So this has happened, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a few more. Well, I suppose they are martyrs, really. And martyrs tend to empower and move passionate people forward with more passion and vigour. And then you've got the weaker people who will be thinking, I don't want to go to jail, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And they, in many ways, are complicit, because that's just falling into the trap, worrying about consequences. You know, I've done videos that could come across as hate speech, but they're true. One of the problems that this poor lady, look at her now, she's fine, almost. There's certain little things now and then, you know, that I've noticed, but I'd say she's almost there. So she would have been put in a position in that courtroom where she was given the opportunity to plead guilty or not guilty. Now, if she'd have pleaded not guilty, the charge would have been hate speech and these ridiculous hate speech laws, which are unlawful. They're unlawful because they go against our rights and our freedom of speech and freedom of expression, which are inalienable. We were born with a brain and a larynx. They were designed to work together to create speech. So they belong to you, and you should be able to use them how you see fit. So she would have been pretty much cornered by way of, do you, Mrs. Sweeney, plead guilty to saying what you said? If she pleaded not guilty, the proof of what she said is there in black and white. So there would have been no sort of wriggle room. However, I would have fought and fought. You know, I would have dug up all of our laws, you know, the proper laws, the ones that haven't been fucked about with, the ones that any other law since then has been built upon. So I did another guy with it. So you know what? It's like a day at fucking Crufts round here. So 3 years, right? And then you've got people out there of a wow, this is overgrown a bit. It's been a while since I've been down here talking to Crufts. You know, this is like one of those whoa. It's all right because I've only got one bollock. I lost one in my mid-20s to cancer. And I've forgotten what I was saying then. Yeah, I just think looking at the judicial system. I know what I was going to say. So you've got people of a certain ideology, if you like, and not just them, that were guilty, banged to rights for participating in gang rape, you know, which is happening all over the country, and not just in England, across the UK and across vast swathes of Europe, and they're getting off scot-free. And then you've got those dickheads who broke a police officer's nose and battered the shit out of other police officers, armed police officers at the airport, that have gotten off scot-free. And the main perpetrator in that group, I've got to say allegedly here, but there is lots and lots of evidence out there, but I've got to say allegedly, was a coke dealer on Instagram. You know, loads of people have found that out. You know, people start digging, and people that already knew, who were possibly potential previous customers, will know that. And because this guy has become famous for all of the wrong reasons, they want their 10 minutes of fame by doing TikTok videos and YouTube videos and etc. But it's still a way of getting the word out. And when you look into his Instagram account, you know, anyone that's dabbled a little bit in their experimental phase of their younger life will know what snow means, what it's code for. And yeah, just no, nothing. And then you get, like I said, you've got people that were involved in gang rape to some degree or another, walking free with suspended sentences, you know. And then you've got a woman was just so passionate, and she can see the way things are going, and she can see the threat from this particular ideology, and she's just sick of it. And she's, you know, She's hearing of babies being stabbed to death, and these gang rapes. She's probably a pretty switched on woman, you know, with her ear to the ground and her finger on the pulse of the planet. So, as we all know, we're constantly looking for the truth and staying informed and up to date on what's going on in the world, especially in our own country. So that passion would have built up and built up and built up to the point where she posted that. And I understand why she posted it, and I know that you do too. So our judicial system, if a judge can do that, then he's bent. And if he's bent as a representative of our judicial system directly, then our judicial system is bent. And if our judicial system is bent, then anyone who enforces the law in said bent judicial system is also bent. So I know that there are decent coppers out there, probably the new ones, you know, that haven't picked up any bad habits, and yeah, but not many. And pretty much most of the really, really decent police officers out there that were half decent or good, you know, good intentions, not realising they're working for a corporation, for example, just thinking they're doing the job for the right reasons, are leaving in their droves, just leaving. Do you remember me doing a little video about how I felt about the police, and that if they come across as the enemy to the people, especially as this builds up and builds up and builds up before it pops, which it will, they could end up with targets on their back, which I said in that video, and I'm saying now, I hope it doesn't come to that, because most of them will have families, you know. It's not their family's fault that they've got a parent that's a twat, you know. But yeah, it's a sad day for the UK justice system and for the people that live in this country. There's a way through there. Before they put this fence up, and it's a very, very big fence, I used to go, I like to make my own paths. You know, Sal used to hate it because she liked to know where she was on the map. Me, I like to explore. And I've explored all up there. And there's a couple of wild apple trees and a wild pear tree. And because it's all closed off, perfect hunting ground for rabbits and the like. And I've got this massive area of where I can come and get wood for my stove. I've just bought a 4-litre crock pot to go on the stove, and it fits perfectly. So yeah, when I mentioned that when the cookie finally crumbles, it is crumbling, you know it is, but we're not there yet. The shit hasn't hit the fan yet. But when it does, this is why you need to get as much in as you can, so that you can hunker down until the chaos eases up, and then we'll all emerge and we'll know what we've got to work with then. And I do think that when that erupts, one of the targets will be Westminster, you know. That's what I think, because people are going to be looking at the people responsible for all this misery. And that's where it's coming from. Starmer the Harmer and his buddies, all his buddies. You know, you look around at these beautiful little stretches of river and listen to the bird song and the noise that the trees make when the wind passes through the leaves as they fall one by one. And you just wouldn't think anything was wrong, would you? When everything is just so wrong. Well, some late blackberries there. All mine are gone. So I make the most of any that I see knocking about. So yeah, this is just I know that it would never get there, but just feel the need. You see these electric bikes, they're bastards because they go so fast, and half of the people on them are twats. Yeah, just sending a little bit of love, and to those of you who are Christians out there, maybe send them a few prayers, you know, to the family, to her family. I can almost guarantee, statistically, that she's never broken a law in her life. So, because of that, she'll struggle in jail. She'll struggle. She'll acclimatise eventually, because you do. Humans do that. That's why we're at the top of the food chain, fucking the world up. But we do acclimatise, we're good at that. Especially preppers. Especially preppers. The whole adjust and pivot thing. We're good at that. That's pretty much it, guys. It was just a short walk and talk, and a thank you to all of the lovely comments from the last video. I did have to take a bit of a run up on that one. It was a tough one, and it was even harder holding it together whilst I was telling you. But it wasn't meant to be about me. It was dedicated to those out there who feel like they're coming to the end of the tether, and just to let them know that there's a hell of a lot more tether. You know, just look. It's much love to everyone, and ciao for now.